Hello everyone, welcome to Tips and Joy. My name is Ayo and I share interview and career tips as well as Scrum Master tips. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, like and also share this video with your friends and family. Today I'll be talking about the differences between Agile and Scrum, but before I go into it, I would like to take a few steps back to tell you the different types of project management. Now, there are several types of project management, but for this video, I'll be focusing on the Agile project management and the traditional project management, which is also called waterfall. For the Agile project management, they're more focused on developing the project or product in smaller features, while in the waterfall approach, they're focused on developing the entire project and then handing it over to the client. So for example, if you're going to develop a website for a real estate company where customers can, try and look for houses to rent or houses to buy, in Agile project management, this entire project is split into smaller features. So the team might work on the login page in this sprint and then move to maybe the page that shows the houses that are for rent, and then move to the page that shows the houses that are for sale. Like I said, they have divided the entire project into smaller features, while for the waterfall approach, this entire project is given to the development team after all the requirements gathering has been done, the design has been done, is given to the development team. They will develop the entire project, and then when the entire website is done, then they hand it over to the client for their review. Now, there are many pros and cons to doing that, and I will discuss some of them as we progress. In order to better describe the difference between Agile and waterfall, imagine you go to a restaurant and you want to order a 3-course meal. Like, your plan from the beginning is to order a 3-course meal. And you go to the restaurant, you start with your appetizer, probably have some chips or, guacamole or anything like that. And then you have your first course, the appetizer. After the appetizer, you probably initially you wanted to have maybe rice as the main course, but then after eating the guacamole, you feel like, oh, maybe you want to have something else. Maybe you want to have grilled chicken instead or something different. So now comparing it to Agile and the waterfall approach. For the Agile methodology, you can make those changes. So you can start with your chips first and later decide that, oh no, instead of rice, you want grilled chicken instead. So now you have developed a small feature and then you have handed it to the client, and the clients are like, okay, instead of this coming next, let's change this. So you're making changes quickly, adapting to the change. While for the waterfall approach, the 3-course meal, you're giving everything at the same time. So you can't make any change. So your chips, your grilled chicken and your cake, the appetizer, main course and dessert is given to you at the same time. And imagine how long you will have taken to develop all of that. So like I said, for the Agile methodology, we're starting with smaller features. So we started with our appetizer, and then after the appetizer, we show it to the clients. Just like we start with a small feature, we show it to the clients, we get some feedback from them and make changes accordingly. This helps the customers or the clients. It helps them to feel involved, like they are contributing to the process. And it also helps us to deliver working products quickly, because now the team is focused on just the appetizer and they've delivered that. While in the waterfall approach, the team is focused on developing the all the features at the same time. So they're giving out the appetizer, the main course, and the dessert at the same time. Now that will take a longer process, a longer time for the customers to actually review the product and make any changes. Now imagine if they have changes to make. So you have developed all the features at once, and then they say, oh, there's something wrong with the first portion of what you have developed, and that first portion and the rest of the portion is dependent on the first portion. So imagine all that rework that you need to do just because something at the beginning was not done correctly. So these are one of the pros of the cons of the waterfall approach, because it takes a longer time for the clients to review the work and give any feedback. So in summary, Agile methodology, the Agile project management, it adapts to change. It adapts to changing technology, adapts to changing requirements, while the structure of the waterfall approach makes it quite rigid, and it takes a longer time for you to make changes, to even review what has been done. So people also do like a hybrid, that's a mix of both. They take the pros of both and make it into like a hybrid system. So those are the other types of project management, and there are other types apart from agile and waterfall and hybrid as well. So I'm gonna stop at that, and then we'll move right into the differences between agile and scrum. As mentioned earlier, agile allows us to develop products in smaller features, while Scrum is actually a framework used in implementing Agile. Now, there are different ways of implementing Agile, and Scrum is just one of them. We also have Kanban, there's also Scrumban, we also have the test-driven development, and so many other methods of implementing Agile. So there's not one major difference between Agile and Scrum. Scrum is actually one of the frameworks used in implementing Agile. I mentioned earlier, there are different ways of implementing Agile, and I'm starting with Scrum. And the Scrum framework focuses on delivering features in increment and an iterative manner. This iterative manner and the iterations, they're called sprints, and they're usually between 2 to 4 weeks. Depends on the company and their processes, whether they want feedback as soon as possible. Maybe then they will go for 2 week sprints. If it can wait a little longer, or maybe they want to take in more development, then you can extend it to 4 weeks or 3 weeks, depending on the company and the working agreements within the team. Then we have 4 major Scrum events. We have the sprint planning, we have the daily Scrum, we have the sprint review, and the sprint retrospective. Also, there's the backlog refinement. It's just something people have started doing, or people do, just to to make the process even better for them. Like I said, Scrum is a framework, right? It sets some some kind of rules or some kind of guidelines to follow, but you can add things that work well for your team. And these Scrum events are done in order to foster the Scrum pillars of transparency, inspection, and adaptation. Now I'm going to show you an example of what you will actually do, like using one of the most popular tool used in Scrum, which is called Jira. How the Scrum board looks like. So this is how Jira looks like, and for a Scrum board, I just created the Scrum board here. If you're trying to practice becoming a Scrum Master, how to use those tools and all of that, Jira offers a free trial. So I just created some tickets, and this is how your Scrum board, your active sprint board will look like. For Scrum, you will see this complete sprint here. So when you start a sprint, you can also complete it, and then your backlog is also in another in another tab. So when you click on backlog, you will see the list of all the work items. But this active sprint, which is what we're looking at right now, it has the list of items that we're working on within a particular sprint. So the team has decided that these 5 items is what they're working on within their particular sprint. And the sprint is usually between 2 to 4 weeks, like I mentioned earlier. So I'll jump into, Kanban, just to give a brief description on Kanban. Kanban focuses on visualizing the work to be done. They're more focused on, a full transparency of all the tasks that should be done, yet to be done, and the ones in progress. I'll also show you an example comparing the Scrum board to the Kanban for you to actually visualize what it really looks like. It limits the work in progress to increase efficiency, and it allows for team members to focus on crucial tasks. So they don't want a situation whereby people are just picking up tickets, and then once they face any block, they leave that ticket in progress and then they move to picking up another one. They focus on for the team members to focus on the crucial tasks, for them to finish working on it, move it to done before picking up other tickets. And the Kanban is majorly used in operational tasks or projects, or for like maintenance projects. So I'll show you an example of how it looks. So for example, this is an example of a Kanban board. Like I said, the backlog is right here. Like for the Scrum board, you can see that the backlog is somewhere here and it's a different tab. The backlog is right here for everyone to view on a daily basis, or whenever they have this, their catch-ups. And we have selected for development in progress done. Now these names could change. It can be to do, in progress, done. It depends on the naming convention that works well for the team. And also the Kanban is not done in sprints. So here you don't have anything like the complete sprint like we saw in the Scrum board, because it is not done in sprints. So this is just few examples of the differences between Kanban and Scrum. And some people also combine it. They call it the Scrum ban, whereby they pick things that work well for them, right? In Scrum, and adopt it to Kanban as well. So different teams, work with what works best for them. Like I said, it's not a rule that you must, follow at all times. Agile gives you the guidelines for you to follow and then adopt according to your team. That's it from me. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, share with your friends and family.